Hello, guys. Hello, guys. I hope you can hear me and you can see me well. Please confirm that because that is super important for me. And I am so happy to be with you today. I've missed you enormously, tremendously. We haven't met for a month in our live format. And oh my God, I don't like it. I like it when we communicate more often. So I'm sorry for that. And I was so happy to read your messages, literally from every corner of the world. And greetings to your beautiful oblasts. And I am here protected by the super team of my friends who also happen to be moderators. And I want to thank Martin and Spencer, Rudy and Philip and Michael for that amazing job that you do fighting Russian trolls and supporting me in some moments. And not just some moments throughout all of this time. I'm really happy to see you. Greetings to Yorkshire, Trav. And hello from Spain. Oh my God, I need to tell you this. Ahora estudio español con una profesora magnífica que también es una traductora maravillosa de literatura española y me parece que voy a hablar español muy bien en 2-3 meses. Thank you. Please forgive my Spanish if those of you who don't like it. Liverpool, greetings to Liverpool and Canada and Italy and Scotland. And Nebraska and Quebec and Australia. Good morning, Australia. I love it that you join us so early. And there are many of us already. Greetings, so happy to see you. And the Philippines and Brazil. Thank you so much for joining. And South Africa and Malta and Ciao di Roma and Budapest. What a beautiful city. I've been a number of times. So thank you so much. Greetings to France, to UK, to Yorkshire, to Belgium. And I am so honored. Francois, special greetings to you in Nice. William, thank you so much for buying coffee and for being an amazing friend, a supporter of me in Ukraine. And Pat, greetings to Michigan. Happy to see you. And Georgia and Florida. And thank you so much, Rudy, for the sponsorship. And Argentina, tengo una familia en Argentina. Mi padre nació en Argentina. And Indiana. And thank you so much, Russell. Dear Yoda, sending you special hugs and some winks. I'm sorry I'm not in your favorite top today. Greetings to Wales and South Wales and Colorado. I'm happy. There is a lot of us today. And greetings to London and some people, kind people, and Lithuania. That's the country, perhaps like my second closest after Ukraine. I don't know why, because perhaps my Volhynia region resembles Lithuania a lot, and that's the reason. And greetings to Germany and Nueva York, because I'm studying Spanish, and Greece. Thank you so much. Vermont, people, I am very happy to feel your virtual hugs. Pivnična Carolina and Toronto and Arkansas. Thank you so much. And Finland. And I have perhaps the first thunderstorm this year. And I like it. I like thunderstorms. But not when I'm on the top of a mountain. This often happens when I'm in the mountains. So thank you so much. Rudy greets all the Australians. And Rudy actually teaches me a lot of really good things in the Russian economy. And also greetings to all people in New Zealand, in Australia. I know it's super early in your part of the world, and I'm really happy that you're here. Greetings to Denmark and Oregon. And let's start, because there are so many topics we can discuss together. And there are a lot of things happening, and many people expected that life will get easier after peace negotiations start. Trump is elected, but it seems just the country. And what I feel is that here people in Ukraine become more and more resilient. A lot of people, thank you so much, Finbo, for the sponsorship. People are getting more and more resilient because it is always like that when you experience some kind of, gaslighting, some kind of distorted messages. We are very, very, very allergic here in Ukraine to Russian propaganda, and gracias. And when you feel that, like, some painful messages keep distorting the reality, the reaction inside the Ukrainian society rises. Merhaba Serkan, teşekkür ederim. And thank you, Ad, so much. So I have picked a number of topics that we can talk about, and I hope that you've missed me just as I missed you, and that you will ask me questions. And there are a lot of them. We can discuss this panic and fear in the Russian Federation as they prepare for a parade on the 9th of May. All the world celebrates Victory Day on the 8th of May, and Putin wants to celebrate it on the 9th, just as always. And there are so many myths of the Second World War that still poison people's minds. And what is worse that, thank you so much, Crystal, what is worse that lots of these, like, oh my God, Philip, I'm nervous to say this. Okay, Philip, do you listen to me? Because Philip, the sheriff, taught me to pronounce properly proper. I'm nervous. I'm Ukrainian and I do make mistakes in the English language, but I speak better English than Trump. I'm sorry. I have compared our vocabularies and mine is richer. So, propagandist. Philip, am I right? Propagandist. So, when we hear propagandist, thank you so much, Yenny. So am I correct? Oh, thank you, the sheriff, for helping me again. Propagandist. So when we hear Russian propaganda spread from the White House, we get angry. And thank you so much, Ron. You're too kind to me. You're saying that everything is good, but okay. Okay. If it's bad, let's believe that it's just like, thank you so much, Johnny. A little bit of accent never spoiled anyone. And I'm sure you will agree, if I didn't have a tiny bit of the Ukrainian accent, that wouldn't be like that interesting. It shows that I am a real Ukrainian. Thank you so much, David. And thank you so much, Serkan. My Turkish is perfect. Merhaba, teşekkür ederim, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We have actually a thunderstorm. Thank you so much, Duncan, and thank you so much, Martin, for your kind words and your support. And Spencer is kind to me. He says they love my accent, but they don't have a choice. Thank you so much for all the support that you demonstrate in comments, and for all the sponsorships, coffees, and for being my patrons. And Pat says that I cannot lose my accent, so I'm working hard to preserve it. Anyway, let's discuss these very important topics. And number one, that is this fear of some attacks on that bloody, dirty meeting on the Red Square. And second, serious economic problems in Russia. Unfortunately, they seem to be global because of the greatest deal maker. But for Russia, they can be deadly. And also, we can talk about this end of peace negotiations or peace deal or whatnot. And that is a sad part that I had I have to remind you that during this period of the so-called negotiations, we've actually had more attacks on Ukraine, on civilian infrastructure. And I hate it. I follow very carefully on X, if some of you stayed there, because I personally want to outlive Elon Musk on X. That's my plan. So if you follow it, there is a Center for Countering Disinformation, a Ukrainian account. I've been in their office. They've interviewed me with my history of the channel, and soon it will appear on that channel on YouTube. But I followed them before that, and they provide some important infographics and statistics and things like that. And they have counted that the number of victims among civilians since the start of the so-called peace talks, it doubled, actually 2.5. So what we had before the start of peace talks, these like ceasefire discussions and so on, was better than what Russia uses during this moment. And one of the main strategies, and it's so obvious if you know like KGB tactics, thank you so much, Cheryl, that Putin wants to make Trump co-responsible for his war crimes, accomplice. Am I right in using this word? Because, like, once again, I don't imagine Trump using it. But, and for example, while they keep targeting Ukrainian homes and Putin is out of the negotiation, like of his isolation and the so-called negotiations lost, and Ukrainians are being killed during that moment, so many children, so many families, so many heartbreaking photos that all the social media will blur. And you know what bothers me is that they blur to protect others. But how do we feel in a country that literally experiences genocide when you want to share these war crimes, your reality, with the rest of the world, and you cannot because it will be blurred? So it's kind of, I've asked that question once, a person from Meta, and they didn't have an answer because there are millions of Ukrainians who want to share the truth, who want to demonstrate how Russia kills us. That's very real. That's one of the reasons why, like, Russian trolls can never, get me psychologically. Come on, what can you do in the comments if there are real Russian trolls killing real people? There is no comment about, I don't know, my nose or my eyes or my teeth that can disappoint me that much. Thank you so much, Bruce. So, this blurred images, this hidden truth. Thank you so much, Duncan. It's very painful. It's very hard. You want to shout out to the world. You want to show the truth. And it tells like, I am sorry, your Ukrainian truth is too disturbing. I'm not ready. I am not ready to. Neither am I. I'm not ready to see that. I'm not ready to see what I have already seen. By the way, thunderstorm, for example, that's what many people don't think about. In this case, I knew it was coming because it was very windy outside, and it was just like you could see the rain starting, and I could see like it coming. But when you wake up during night because of a thunder, you can be frightened because you think it's an attack. And they have stolen so many lives. They have stolen so many homes. They have stolen so many places, Russians. But they have stolen, thank you so much, Godfrey, but they have also stolen also a very important thing that you kind of like, for example, a thunderstorm or a candlelight, because you have negative associations with that. And that is very painful. And there literally war is present in like every possible detail, and that is why, and I have asked the team to help me once again remind you about the new channel where I post videos weekly, and once a week I try to share more personal, more civilian perspective. The channel has a very unexpected name, Anna Danilchuk, which is my name. And today there will be a new video. I think I will share, and I will ask people to help me share. Thank you so much, Dan. The link, I will share the video at the end of our stream. And in that video, I answer a question that turned out to be very interesting and thought-provoking for me personally. Thank you for all the kind words that you leave, and thank you so much. I'm happy that you like it. So let's discuss some of these very important questions, and I will be happy to answer your questions. What would you like us to start? A parade in Moscow or oil prices and economy problems in Russia? Both topics are actually magnificent from my ordinary Ukrainian point of view. Hi, Chris. So, parade. Let's start with parade. Thank you so much, Finbo. Thank you. So, what would you like to know about that parade? Let me start with this brief introduction. It is insane that Russia uses the victory in the Second World War, the joint victory of, and here again that word comes, allies. I hope you don't hear aliens. Allies. No, it's on the 9th of May. On the 9th of May, Russia celebrates the Victory Day. What makes it more absurd? They don't name it the Second World War as the rest of the world, but they keep naming it the Great Patriotic War, as if we are as if they had a separate war, not something that the rest of the people were fighting. And, I live in the western part of Ukraine. This western part of Ukraine, thank you so much, someone, for buying me coffee. Cheers. That I live in the western part of Ukraine, and that western part of Ukraine was annexed by the USSR in 1939. And even in the western part of Ukraine, for a very, very, very long period, there is 1,000 of us. Remember to like it. That's important to make our videos more visible and our community more open for good people. The world needs more Ukrainian information to counter Russian propaganda. The sheriff? You made me anxious in pronouncing this word. Smash the like, says Nepo, and I support his point of view. So they were even in those western part of Ukraine that was annexed in 1939 due to joint Soviet Nazi actions, on these memorials we had the dates 1941, 1939. And I wonder why Russians never ask themselves, never ask themselves why the rest of the world says that the Second World War started in 1939. And then, thank you so much, Rudy. And then in Russia and in the former Soviet Union republics, it started in 1941. What were we doing during these 2 years? And the answer is collaborating with the Nazi. There was Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact that Russia tries to hide, but that was actually an agreement between the Hitler's Germany and the Stalin Soviet Union to separate the world. And it is just like Hitler's move on some territories that the Soviet Union wanted that led to their future fight. Thank you so much, Marcel, and thank you so much, Tony, for buying me coffees. You see, I had the cold, and I'm out of that cold already, but somehow it influenced my voice, and when I talk and talk, I get this like weird voice, deeper one. It's not that I don't like it, but it's different. Greetings to Romania. And so and thank you so much, someone, for buying me coffee. So let's return back to this myth. So Soviets and now Russians, they managed to erase, this 2 years of very bad history when they collaborated with Hitler, and to forget about that, and then to try and pretend that the victory is just of Russia. In reality, the main war theater took place in Ukraine. Most of Ukrainian cities suffered the most. And it was like every fifth hero of the Soviet Union is the Ukrainian soldier. And there were a lot of Ukrainian, Georgian, Belarus soldiers. Don't equate all of the army of that time that was like so many countries were imprisoned by the Soviet Union. Don't equate that not all of them are Russians. Totally not. And yeah, and the Finland War, right? I have a lot of friends in Finland and a lot of people in our community. And also, I don't want to forget about that. I want to thank Nepo for reminding about the Ukrainian journalist Victoria Roshchina. Her story got me back a couple of months, I think in autumn, when I've learned that she died as a prisoner of war in Russia. And I don't know, like, there are so many tragedies, there are so many faces, you don't like pick all of them. It's not always that you like remember and see everything, but somehow she got me more than others. And I shared, and I saw that she was like a very true journalist. Perhaps she was very passionate, and that made her not cautious, not care enough for her life working in that environment of this beast. And she was like very young, and she looked for me just like this ideal reporter for series on TV and something like that. And they returned her body just now, and it has tremendous signs of torture. And it doesn't have brain, it doesn't have larynx, it doesn't have eyes. That's what Russia does to people. That's what Russia did to that beautiful young woman. And just this one case would be enough in the healthy world to destroy Russia. Just the death of this one beautiful, young, honest, just woman. When you look at her videos, when you look at her photos, you cannot imagine that she is dead. There are some people that have this very lively spirit. I didn't know her. I didn't read her before. Thank you so much, Tuba Kane. But, every time I see her, I have a feeling she's alive. And her body was returned without eyes and larynx, guys. And we say like Putin is a strong man. Putin should be like her, if you know what I mean. I mean, you have to be very careful with YouTube. And there are many things. We know her story, but how many stories are untold? How many stories are blurred and hidden? So thank you so much for learning the stories, for reading the stories, for sharing the stories. That's important. It won't save her, but it can save some others, some vibrant people who are still not endangered by Russia. And if we defeat and destroy this evil, we can save lots of such people, and they can do so many. You know, one of the very typical things that many Ukrainians think about during this century or centuries of the Russian evil is that, yeah, Pat, you're right, symbolic of being journalist, thinking, seeing, and speaking. That's the instruments she needed. And by defeating Russia, we can save a lot of people, and lots of Ukrainians are thinking about so many great, beautiful, talented, interesting, tasty people that were killed during the centuries. So thank you so much for your prayers, for your support, and for, you know, as I mentioned at the beginning of the story that I have finally finished, thank you for, I say it beautifully, like from my sometimes I think it's beautifully, sometimes I think it's very ugly. We have 1,111 people watching us. So I say it's that, like, you choose this knowing the truth. Well, okay, I will quote it later, because just like I constructed the sentence beautifully, and then maybe I will look it up, you know, why not? So I think it would be very just, it would be very correct to attack Russia during the parade if it happens, because it's a military object, and demilitarizing Russia is very and very correct. So I say it. I'm grateful for every single question, because it means you want to know and choose the discomfort of truth over the ease of ignorance. That's a rare quality these days. Is it a good sentence? So I hope I shaped it well, because so many people choose not to know the truth. And I'm very grateful for our community here. I'm very grateful for our community on the new channel that people keep reminding. And also I want to attract attention to our Discord that Martin has just shared a link to. And I am grateful that you choose this complex, very uncomfortable truth over this, like, the discomfort of knowing the truth over the ease of ignorance that so many people choose nowadays. Greetings to Boston. So what I like about this myth of the Second World War, of the Great Patriotic War, that Russia was the only victor, that is total BS, and that is totally not true. Yes, and we have 1,000 likes. Thank you so much, Stanish, and thank you, C Poeter, and someone for buying me coffees. And yeah, and Neil says that now we need 1,100 likes, and I agree. And thank you so much, Robert. So yeah, but to know the truth, like, lots of people do not choose to know the truth in their private life, in their business life, and in everywhere. Thank you so much, Serkan. So and thank you so much, Pat. What do I think about Trump picturing himself as the Pope? I think that's the bottom line. I can tell you that, just like, I could not believe that, like, okay, it's okay to troll, it's okay to make fun, but I could not believe that the official White House account shared that, because that's insane. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Serkan. So let's return back to that parade. I do not advise you to travel to Moscow, because something can happen. I know that Ukrainian armed forces are decent. I know that we never target civilian objects or anything that can endanger people, even after these years of Russian violence, of Russian terror, because we want to remain good human beings. We want to remain people. We need that for the future of Ukraine, not just for the sake of being kind. That's the choice. And I am actually happy that Ukrainians are not filled with hatred. Look at like Russians that are not bombed, and the majority of them are so unhappy, so angry. And an average Ukrainian that can literally be killed by a Russian missile every second looks way happier. Phenomenon. uh, thank you so much for your kind words. So first of all, Russians are hiding this truth about 2 years of cooperating with Nazis, Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, attacks on Poland, annexation of lots of territories. Okay. Then they describe that the victory in the Second World War belongs just to them. I'm sorry, no, because there are so many nations, first of all, that were imprisoned inside the Soviet Union, including Ukrainians in the Soviet army. Thank you so much, Don. Including again, Georgians, Belarusians, Moldovans, many, 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 many people. And also, greetings to Washington, D.C. And also, it would be impossible without Britain. It would be impossible without France. It would be impossible without the Lend-Lease from the... Thank you so much, Marcus. Now, tell me, please, people from the United States who watch us now, what do you think about this decision of Trump to celebrate, to a great extent, Victory Day on the 8th of May? What are your thoughts? Is it a correct decision, or would you like it to look a little bit different? Like, what's your thought? Some people say they hate it. Carl, why do you hate it? So, yes, I agree, Kathleen, that there will be a lot of military targets. It's crap, we never did it before. Why now, says Duncan. And what are the other thoughts? Like, I see the majority do not support. I've read, and I think it would be right to choose. Thank you so much, Bird Dog. It's fascist. Greetings from Chile. I necesito hablar más español y leo mucho y puedo comprender entrevistas de Liosa, por ejemplo. So I see that the majority of people don't like the idea. And I like it, Anna. Most in Canada love me. Like most of Canada. That would be great if all of Canada. Thank you so much, World Peace. So we see that like many people do not support Trump's idea to celebrate the Victory Day. From what I read, it would be more correct to choose a different date, not the 9th of May, but because when Japan surrendered, so it was not a good idea. And thank you. And all of that. So anyway, there is one thing that I like about that celebration, and the fact that Trump started talking in his typical greetings, 40 million hugs back to Canada. And Trump wants a parade for himself on his birthday, which is also a flag day, and the birthday of one good person that us right now. But I will not show your photo. So that is also important that he started speaking about the role of the United States in the victory. And it's right. And you cannot imagine perhaps how angry Putin will be with that, because thank you, Yoda. Even if you don't say it, we love you. But even with all of that, guys, like this decision, and I'm sure it's not to commemorate, the victory. It's more about Trump and attention to him. But let's forget about that. But the very idea that Trump keeps saying that the United States did a lot for the victory, which is true. That is true. Without the Lend-Lease, without the support of the United States, it would be very difficult for the Soviet Union, Britain, and many countries to win this war. So it's right. But the fact that Putin wants to privatize this victory, this perhaps makes Putin very angry. And it's so interesting to observe how these very narcissist people are quarreling. It's just like vipers that can eat each other. And yeah, there were lots of videos. Thank you, Melissa, for reminding that, of Chinese soldiers marching and preparing for a parade in Moscow. And I think, oh my God, that is so obvious. Another problem word that I have, and I avoid saying it on the channel, just like my channel, I can avoid the rules, the words that I cannot pronounce. And that was axis of evil. Sheriff, what I don't pronounce there, axis of evil. Just like I want to say China, North Korea, Iran, they have axis. Okay, Kathleen, that didn't help. X is. X. You see, two people give me different instruction. X is and XS. So, yes, empath, you are right. That's what I want to say. So how do I say it? Axis, X is. Pat, you're given the third version. Guys. Okay, you got me. Let's leave this word with my Eastern European accent. Let's consider that's the way I need it. Okay, thank you so much, Axis. Guys, please, the sheriff, count the number of variants of the pronunciation of the word the way I need it. You literally gave me 10 different versions. So I mean, like this, thank you so much, Finbo. I mean this bloody line that all these authoritarian regimes united in, and they back up each other. They back up each other without any bureaucracy, without any problems, without any delays. Of course, it's not about justice. It's not about friendship. It's not about support. But they are effective in supplying each other. And the very fact that now Kim Jong-un and Putin officially confirmed that thousands of North Korean soldiers are fighting in Europe, and you don't see any reaction. By the way, if you subscribe to my new channel, Anna Danilchuk, where today a new video will appear about the scariest and the happiest moments of my life during the big war, you will see my biceps. I'm showing it there. I'm doing quite odd things. Guys, will you remind? No, it's not axis. Anyway, guys, will you show the link again? Thank you so much. Muchas gracias por complimentarme español. Actually, I can say even this present perfect of Spanish. He leído un libro magnífico sobre propaganda ruso. Anyway, thank you so much for all the good things that you're saying. So anyway, thank you so much, Aussie Angel. So we see that they are uniting. We see Chinese soldiers. Actually, Russians had to bring lots of tanks from Kazakhstan and elsewhere because actually they've lost so many. They've lost so many already. And that is kind of, interesting and super important. That they lack things and they are actually asking for the support from others. That's the only way for them, to survive. And many do not react properly. And what I like most is that not many world leaders agreed to come. And there was like on X, you may follow me that too. On X, there were photos of these leaders, and then someone started. Uh, yeah, Yoda, I want to quote that lost democracy is only one generation away, and that is very, very true. And it's so precious, like you underestimate it when you have it. And that, like, they had made like a poster of photos of people who plan to come to a parade in Moscow. No, there was no Trump there. And they started crossing out, people with their faces. And Vucic and Fico. Do you know this man? I intentionally pronounced that bad. So this was Fico and Vucic, who are Russia supporters, and they promised to come. And they promised to come to support Putin, to demonstrate their solidarity with the falling Kremlin regime. And then Vucic said that, uh, like, he fell ill during his visit to the United States. I don't know. Somehow he managed to do all he wanted, and then he fell ill. Not. Thank you so much, Rebecca. And then Fico. I wonder, why are they ill? Did they kiss? Like, and now both of them will not come. Yeah, maybe they shook hands with JD Vance. JD Vance is a disaster. First, he visited the Pope. Then he went to India. I hope he will not come to Ukraine. He should travel to Russia. So, greetings to Ontario. And that is kind of interesting. That, yeah, Chinese are mocking a lot right now, and this tariff war and luxury brands. It's kind of course, it's very wrong that so many things are produced in China, and literally every like area of production is influenced by China. Thank you so much, Sean. And anyway, I see that there is real panic in Russia before this parade. Putin wanted to organize, this fake ceasefire for just 2 or 3 days. That is not a ceasefire. That is fake. Like, Trump, Zelensky all supported the idea of at least 30 days of ceasefire. That is something you can feel, that is something you can control. Russia traditionally breaks all the ceasefires. They said they had a ceasefire during Easter, but like it didn't work. And they wanted this 3-day ceasefire. And it's just because they are worried that Ukrainian drones can organize some attacks, some fireworks. I'm sorry. Some fireworks on the Victory Day parade in Russia. Thank you so much, Danny. And, Zelensky, thank you so much, Voxpedia, as a good leader, said that, okay, if you want a ceasefire, we support the idea of a ceasefire, but let it be a 30-day ceasefire. Why not? I'm sorry, why do you agree on the idea of a 3-day, but you disagree on the idea of a 30-day? So we said that we agree on this 30-day ceasefire, but we do not agree on the 3-day ceasefire. And we rejected it because it did not say about the 30-day. And Orban agreed to go, but I don't know, maybe he will feel bad tomorrow or something like that. Anything can happen, just like bad wine. But that's crazy because we obviously see fear and panic in Russia. And please do not forget about that. Because at the very beginning of this war, even our friends, not arrogant narcissists who work for Russia, but even our friends were sure that Ukraine will collapse in 3 days. It did not happen. And right now, we are stronger than we were in 2022. We are stronger, we are more determined, we are more experienced, and yes, we have like better support. Even if Trump chooses not to support Ukraine, not to support Europe, not to support democracy, first of all, Trump is not forever. And second, we do have like other networks, we do have the understanding. I believe that people in other European countries understand the danger of Russia now way better. And with Trump being so unpredictable, mildly speaking, uh, uh, Ukraine is becoming an asset, not a burden. And there will be a video today on the channel, on this channel too, about a beautiful victory. Do you know that we broke a new world record again? Because with a marine drone, we destroyed Russian combat aircraft. And I will tell you in a video later, so do check that video. Thank you so much, Marcos. So yes, Sue30, Francois, you are right, and there will be a video about that. Thank you so much for the sponsorship, Marcos. And remember to join that Discord. And good will always prevail. Thank you, Yoda. And that's true. And so not many, like at the very beginning when Moscow decided to make that parade and to collect the leftovers, thank you so much, Bevan, to collect the leftovers of their tanks and their army. Not many, the so-called world leaders, wanted to come. Some had to agree. For example, Vucic's and Fico's careers, they depend on Russian money to a great extent. And I love Montana. And they agreed, but they are not very willing to go. And now with the mineral deal signed, with some tension, with this understanding that a ceasefire is not very likely, they don't want to go. And I love it that this discourse, this attitude changed tremendously. And now we have Russians that are afraid that Ukraine will attack them in Moscow. Could you imagine that in February 2022? Could you imagine that in February 2022? You couldn't. I couldn't. With all my love and passion for my country, I couldn't. But that's real. Now, on this victory day, that is super important for Putin's propaganda machine. When they have become fascists, they speak about the defeat of fascism. That's absurd. It's just the same as they put icons of Stalin in churches. Russia is a kaleidoscope of BS, and some uneducated people can pick the things they like, and they believe Russia is that, Russia is this. Russia is nothing. That is a Frankenstein. I keep repeating this metaphor because I like it. Russia is a Frankenstein. And you know, Frankenstein is like a very unnatural creation made of different already dead parts that perhaps stink. So, yes, Essa has popcorn, and many people advise me to have popcorn too. So we will see. But the very fact, I don't know, will these explosions take place or will it be something different? First of all, I am very happy that I can trust the Ukrainian armed forces, and I know it will never be something bad as Russians do. If it will be something just and elegant and beautiful and bright. Second, even if it doesn't happen, even if we don't plan anything, Um, and if it's just like Zelensky's trolling, it's also an option. It is beautiful because it already stopped a lot of people from coming. It also demonstrates that the Kremlin came to the understanding of their weakness, of their vulnerability. And more Russians understand that, especially when they see how their oil refineries or military air bases explode. They see there is nothing they can do about it. They keep failing and failing and failing. Just think about that. I'm glad that you like that previous video on mine on a different new channel, where I try to explain just like a bit of this misunderstandings and misconceptions that Russia keeps pushing now through White House. Also, that like the reasons why Russia invaded Ukraine. Of course, it's not NATO. Of course, it's not NATO. And they wanted like, but Putin, Medvedev, they spread this disinformation, like, we want to protect ourselves. We want to protect Russia. May I have your attention, please, just for a second? Did they have any objects attacked in Russia before the start of the full-scale war? Did any tiniest part of the Russian territory was any tiniest part of the Russian territory in any danger? Were there explosions in Belgorod, in Moscow, in Novorossiysk? No, Russia was 100% safe. And now, after 3 years of the Blitzkrieg, literally dozens of Russian regions turned into a war zone. We see explosions in Moscow, in St. Petersburg, in Tatarstan, which is a different republic with a great potential to become independent one day. Novorossiysk. Let's try a name like, oh my God, I'm a happy person. I don't know much about Russia. But let's try and count the regions that I often read about in the news about the explosions of, as they say, unknown drones there. You may help me in the comments below what regions you encounter most in your news, if there are some. So first of all, of course, this is Kursk and Belgorod, partially controlled by the Ukrainian armed forces, the whole regions, and Russia does not control its borders. Sums up. By the way, let's make 1,500 or 15,000 likes. I don't mind. So anyway, it's Stavropol, it's Rostov, you are right, it's Belgorod, it's Kursk, it's Krasnodar, it's Novgorod, it's Vladimir, it's Lipetsk, it's Volgograd. Geography lessons, yes. Rostov I've mentioned. Crimea is Ukraine. It's temporarily. It's Pskov. It's Oryol. And sometimes they say like missile danger in Oryol region. I am sorry, guys. Could you imagine any missile? Engels is a part of Krasnodar region. Bryansk, yes, Lipetsk, of course. Engels is named after Friedrich Engels. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Paul, for buying me coffee. And thank you so much, Paul, again. I see, yeah. Vladimir, yes, it's behind Moscow. So there are, okay, let's start. Kursk, Bryansk, Krasnodar, Novgorod, Vladimir, Lipetsk, Voronezh. In Tatarstan, there are many like Kazan, like, well, yeah, Nizhny Novgorod, Rostov, I think we've named, but there are so many of them, and not all of them are on the border with Ukraine. We managed to reach deeper and deeper. And today there will be a separate video about the Ukrainian marine drone working in Novorossiysk. Do you know why Novorossiysk is important? Because Novorossiysk is a new headquarters of the Russian Black Sea Fleet. It is located in Russia. And I have a question to you. I see you're a good student. I like it. Tver, by the way, thank you, John. I forgot about that. You are really good students, like Ustuluha, like Tver. Oh my God. And I will quote Neil, who says, "Run, Russians, run." There are lots of territories that they can use for running. Russia is the largest country in the world, and the most miserable does not need new territories. Thank you so much, Custom Fantasy Hot Wheels. Uh, reclaim. Okay, return back. It does not mean what you think. Thank you so much. Reclaim. Yeah, but I'm sorry. You will have like to uh, keep controlling me. Reclaim. Can we say regain? I think regain is even better now. uh, Earplugs manufacturer. Yes, you can actually try and get that. So there are, I hope, more lessons to come, more geography lessons to come. But with all that, greetings to Finland. Novorossiysk, I asked you that question like, now, my dear students, why Novorossiysk is important? Because that's the new headquarter of the Russian Black Sea Fleet. And then I have a question to you. What happened to the previous headquarters of the Black Sea Fleet? Where were they located? The answer is in Sevastopol, and they were destroyed, demolished, erased, together with the head of the Russian Black Sea Fleet, Admiral, whose name I forgot because that's unnecessary. So it was destroyed. And we have upgraded a Russian Black Sea fleet to the submarine scrap metal fleet at the bottom of the Black Sea. And they had to escape. And they escaped to Novorossiysk. I don't mind. They can stay in Novorossiysk because that's Russia. That is where the Black Sea Fleet of Russia belongs, to Russia. But we keep sending beautiful messages to them, even in Novorossiysk. And it happened last night when a Marine drone targeted a combat aircraft. And there will be a video on the channel later about that, and I greatly encourage you to watch. Now, I think, first of all, that there will be fewer and fewer people that may come to the parade because of fear, because Russia cannot guarantee its visitors' safety and security. I love it that President Zelensky today confirmed that Ukraine cannot guarantee safety and security for those who will visit Moscow during the next days of May. I think that's beautiful, but come on. If you travel to Russia, you are never safe, so stop traveling to Russia. Just stop traveling to Russia. Vladivostok, why not? That's far away, but every time the Ukrainian drones can reach deeper and deeper. So, this is very important, that this fear spreads inside Russia. And this is like very real, that Vucic and that Fico will not come because they are simply afraid what can happen to them there. I'm sure that like Trump is covered and he will not come too. No, I'm drinking mineral water. I don't drink vodka, honestly, never. That's not my kind of alcohols. That's just mineral water. But to tell you the truth, I like lemons. I love oranges and lemons. I don't like apples. That's my just like favorite fruit. But it feels like I've reconquista reconquista of Crimea, I will say. But I squeezed too much. I like it how Rudy says, no, Serkan, Anna is always sober on a live stream. It feels like Anna is not sober outside live streams. Anna is typically sober because alcohol slows me down. I'm not saying I don't drink it, but it slows me down. So typically, like when you see me drinking alcohol, I will be less energetic and with a weaker sense of humor. I will be more just like relaxed and sleepy. But maybe I drink it in an unusual way. You know why? Because squeeze too much lemon, and even though I like sour things, it's super it's super sour, and I need to drink because of my voice. Oh, I love this question, this comment. Yes, Matt, that is a rare mineral water. Because, like in Ukraine, from Trump's point of view, uh, from Trump's point of view, everything is just like rare earth minerals are everywhere. And I'm not drinking a simple water, I'm drinking rare earth minerals water. That's why. So, but I like tea too. It's not just coffee. I've told you that I drink that coffee that not many people like, orange coffee. That's my favorite. I'm addicted to it. I am an expert where the good orange coffees are, bad orange coffees are in Ukraine. And that is, it will sound ugly to many of you because that's a mixture of a good espresso with an orange fresh, and it can be hot or it can be with ice. Yeah, of course, I tried water from Tuskovets. So you can't pick. So I'm drinking this rare mineral. That's a funny story. I will quote you from time to time here in Ukraine because that's really funny. So thank you so much, Dave. And a few words that I want to say about this collapsing Russian economy, because it is very closely connected with oil prices. And oil prices were the main reason for the collapse of the USSR, one of the main reasons. Economy was very bad at that moment, and this exhausting war in Afghanistan, totally unnecessary. And there are a lot of things that repeat itself. And how much tariffs on rare mineral water? It's tariff free because we have a mineral deal with the United States, so no tariffs for my water. But anyway, like one thing that Trump can do, he can ruin the economy, the global economy. A global recession can start. Of course, it's not something good, but it's inevitable. It's the result of people's choice. It may happen. And Russia's economy is on the brink of the collapse. And for example, if the economy of, I don't know, let's say just illustratively of France or of Denmark has some cushions, financial cushions that can protect the country, they can optimize the spendings or something, Russia is a ruin. Russia is already on the brink of the collapse. They were fighting the inflation, they were rising interest rates, they were taking literally money out of banks and using them for the war industry. And they lie to this International Monetary Fund. I'm so surprised that there are still people. Russia going to be flying donkeys next. Anyway, they are lying, and I'm so surprised that there are still people who think that Russia told that income, Russia told that. Russia is constantly lying. In Russia, you cannot get the truth, especially if these are documents and I don't know, like reports from the governmental structures. It's total BS. It's total nonsense. It may be like 100 times worse. What you, happy people from healthy democracies, do not understand is the level to which their authorities, criminal authorities, can lie. And with this tariff wars, with this unpredictable economic wars, the production falls. If the production falls globally, people stop buying things. People stop producing things, like the production falls, and people don't need that much oil. Thank you so much, Colleen. People don't need that much oil, and then prices drop. And maybe in Ukraine, it's 10 p.m. So yeah, it is already collapsed actually, but they are able to, camouflage it. And with this, just like Saudis, they were a bit against this lower prices because they earn a lot on that. But I think right now they agreed that the prices can remain low. And Zelensky, by the way, visited them. Honestly, when Zelensky makes photos with Saudis, he looks Saudi to me. He could look very good in that like national costume. But they agreed that the prices can remain low. And Russia had already to review its budget because they think they will lose 25% more of their oil and gas revenue. And this country, Russia, is not about economic competition, is not about innovation, is not about the production of anything. It is purely about selling natural resources, which actually do not belong to Russia to the fullest. And if it stays like that, it will collapse like a house of cards. And please stop being afraid of the collapse of the Russian Federation. Let me know in the comments, are you afraid of the collapse of the Russian Federation? Yes. And if yes, then tell me why. Just one word. It's interesting for me. If no, then no. Let's make this brief questionnaire. It's interesting. No. Yes, I'm amazing. Thank you. No. Oh, my people, my people, my people. Oh, I love you. Like every no. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So yeah, I think we should talk more. By the way, I plan to go to Lviv Media Forum next week, and I will share some information from there. And I plan to interview one very smart man in Ukraine, and he's a specialist in Russian Federation disintegration. So that will be an interview about that, and I hope you will like it. I think he will be able maybe to explain more, but it is such a great mistake to be afraid of that. And I'm worried that many decisions, military decisions, were made just to preserve Russia, to save it, when it is, once again, a monster, a Frankenstein that needs to disappear, that needs to fall apart. That is a very natural process. Empires do not survive in the environment of the 21st century. So thank you so much. Let's make it, I don't know. No, it won't be like he will have a separate panel, but then I will make an interview for our channel, so you will see it on the channel. I will, if I will know about the streaming from Lviv Media Forum, I will let you know. Let's make something magical together, and I will ask my amazing friends Spencer and Rudy and Philip and Martin. Maybe you will help me, because right now, oh my God, Frankenstein. Yes. And do you know there is a difference between the British and the American pronunciation? And what I sometimes get is that I may receive an email from an American and from a British, and people, you will teach me two different pronunciations saying this is the only one. And I know I will keep, like, saying it the Ukrainian way. So let's do the magic together from my point of view. And I will start, I will just like show a video on my new channel. I will share with you. And I will ask, so I will make it public right now. This is a video where I talk about, uh, yeah, I'm also worried about Vlad. I message Vlad Vexler. Let's support him and let's send him all the best wishes. And I messaged him recently and he answered me, which made me really happy, taking into account that he's going through very challenging times. Let's just like send him all our positive energy. You know, if you believe in God, pray for his health. And I think he's a very strong person and he will go through this very bad and uncomfortable experience. But once again, the fact that he shares this journey is also very precious and speaks a lot about him. And on my new channel, I have decided to share a video where I answer a question that you've asked me, and I love the questions I receive on the channel. That is, yeah, you may support. I think it would be amazing if those of you who follow Vlad Vexler on YouTube, on X, in Instagram, leave him some comments and some likes to boost his like energy. He needs that, and we receive so much good things from him, and it would be very good to share with him. So I decided to answer a question to the one that I received previously. What were the scariest and what were the happiest moments of this war? And I answered these questions very personally. You know that this channel is about this ordinary Ukrainian perspective, and on the Danilchuk channel, I've decided to keep like super personal. So there I share the scariest moments, not from the national perspective, but from mine. And I'm sure every Ukrainian has a different moment, but if it will be interesting for you, do check it. And I will make the video public, and I will ask my beautiful moderators to share it, so that after we finish this live, you can go and watch that video. It has already perhaps appeared as scariest and happiest moments, and thank you for this question. Also, as my moderators advise me, but I want to keep it know that some of our friends need to be strong, need to be concentrated on their healing. You know, we think about you, we love you, and we wish you the best. And we know you can do it. So Fico has forgotten 1968, same as Orban has forgotten 1956. So the sheriff and Rudy, it seems to me, have already shared the links to this new video. I am always happy when you leave me ideas and advice. Thank you so much, Obiter. And I want to thank you for all the coffees, for being patrons, for being friends of Ukraine, for going out on protests, for demonstrating your strong support of Ukraine. Also remember that we have a new video coming here too about this Magura drone that destroyed Russian Su-30. What about my book? I'm looking for a literary agent, and that's not that easy. I have now contacts with some good people, and I hope it will work out. I'm looking in the direction of Poland, and in Poland it's easier to reach other ones, so that's the answer. But finally I have like officially finished it. Sometimes, you know, and like I read it, I think, oh my god, genius. It's the another day I'm reading and I think, oh, the second one will be better. But anyway, thank you so much, Colleen. And thank you so much for all the kind words that you were saying, for all your support, and for being friends. You cannot imagine how precious our community for me, and I'm sure for many of you are. I'm very, very grateful to have you, and I'm super grateful to Martin and Spencer and Rudy and Michael, of course, and to Philip, and to Francois, and to so many of you that come and join. And all the best wishes to AJ. If you're watching us, if you're not watching us, we will reach you. And Nail for cheering people to like it all. Lucas, happy to see you. JP, thank you so much. And Marcus and Serkan and Yoda, of course, sending you very special greetings. And Voxpedia and Alms and Pat, thank you. And once again, remember to check the new video on the new channel and then a new video on this one, because I've missed you and you see I was working really hard. Hugs to you, Trev, and Reek, and all the beautiful people. I am honored, I am blessed to have you as my friends. And thank you so much, Peter, for being a constant supporter and a friend. Thank you so much, Carl. And you know, I love you. Thank you so much. And Slava Ukraini!